Welcome to our roundtable discussion and luncheon, Black Hair Care, Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow. Panel discussion disclaimer. The views and comments expressed during this panel discussion don't necessarily represent the views of me, Walter Smith, or my company, Smith Products Company, LLC, as sponsor of this event. This disclaimer applies to my guest and the Brownstone Bistro. Viewer discretion is advised.
The question comes up, for example, how is it that the Koreans have taken control of the black hair care industry? And rather than me answer from my standpoint, I'm going to shoot that question out to the audience and to the panelists here. And part of the discussion will be centered around that also. But for right now, I want each panel member to introduce themselves. We'll start with Don Davidson on the end.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Don Davidson. I'm Dr. Edward Tony Leno, manufacturer of liquid gold bonding products.
My name is Jacques Du, and I am a stylist mathematician at Jacques Fan Club.
Frank Davey, former owner of World's First Products, now Global Beauty Products.
Good morning, my name is Lucky White. I am the president of Missouri Ironworks, located in Gardena, California.
My name is Jerry White. I'm the CEO of Global.
The discussion started, I wanted to go back in history just a little bit and talk about Annie Malone, C.J. Walker. From our modern day history of the hair care industry, they set wonderful examples for us all in that starting from very little, they went on to become millionaires and philanthropists, and they did a lot of good things on behalf of Afro-American people. So I'm going to open the discussion up to the panel here and audience too.
Okay, in regards to the ancient history of the beauty industry, it actually goes all the way back to the time of slavery. But that's a long story to tell. And if you go to my website that I have on it, the pink paper you can go to my blog and you can read all about that. But in the modern sense, it started with Madame Malone, who was the instructor and teacher for Madame C.J. Walker. She's the one that taught Madame Walker what and how to do it. And then Madame Walker took it and put it on a whole different plane by manufacturing products for the Afro hair care industry. So she gets most of the credit for where we are today, but Madame Malone gets very little credit, yet she was the catalyst that gave birth to Madame C.J. Walker.
Madame C.J. Walker, you know, when she was with Annie Malone, she was in the St. Louis market, and the fact that one of the things, look at the fact that she changed her market and went to Indianapolis as well as Harlem. And one of the things that Madame C.J. Walker did was she developed a system of that like Amway or Mary Kay is on now. It's a marketing system, and I think that's one of the reasons that helped her to explode and eventually become the first millionaire.
Yes, she had a door-to-door operation. We all know the natural hairstyle and natural ingredient products are a phenomenon right now. Millions of dollars are being made with those type products. And as we get our discussion going, I would like to know what impact it might have on some of the stylists here in terms of their business. And also, if you don't see any difference as a result of that, what might you contribute to the lag in business throughout this year? I know I personally and Don are in the salons quite often, and there have been some very dry moments. Is that safe to say, Don?
It's safe to say.
Yes. So, and I'm sure some stylists would say that. In fact, a very popular salon in Culver City closed down. And, you know, I used to wonder, I would try and persuade the owner to use my products because some of the other stylists were using them. And she kept putting me off. But now, as I reflect on it, she probably already knew where her business was headed. I just couldn't see it. But I called one day and it was shut down. So there's some devastating effects happening to salon owners and members of the industry. So again, we need to talk about that. One thing about it, when we look at the Korean operation and how they operate, in my mind, they plan and they strategize, and then they implement their strategies. And as a result of that, they turn into a very prosperous operation. Now we know from just watching recent developments and from a beauty supply store standpoint, they've transitioned from the small stores now to the super stores. There's a store located on Imperial and Crenshaw. Can't think of the name of it, but it's a very large operation. CJ's, okay? And just recently in the Martin Luther King Mall, Marlin Hill Mall, the K Beauty Supply has moved upstairs. And they have a fabulous location there. And, I'm going to make this statement, but, they're able to grow their business and expand it off the backs of Afro-American dollars. Now, I don't say anything from a racial standpoint about that. That's good business from their standpoint that they're able to expand. But I read an article that states that the changing business of black hair care has a potential of being a $500 billion industry. So my question to you is, are you getting your fair share of that $500 billion? And we'll throw that out to the audience there, and we'll throw it out to the panel here. Do you feel that you're getting your fair share of the $500 billion? If not, why is that the case? And so these are some questions that we can examine. I was talking to one stylist. She mentioned that she had to close her salon down. And she's at a turning point in life, and she's working to make a decision on where she goes from here. The gentleman right here, Mr. Frisbee, he's entering into the hair care business. I had a chance to read over your brochure this morning. His brother is a dermatologist, and he has a line specifically for, you speak a little bit about it.
Well, I'm going to practice, excuse my cold, dermatologist. His name is Donald Frisbee. He's a practicing dermatologist in the Washington, D.C. area for 39 years. And, dermatologist is skin and hair, but his practice has evolved into mostly hair. 99% of his patients come in with issues with the hair, things that, our beautiful black women do to their hair to look better. A hot comb and all those things are ultimately damaging to the hair. So he has a line of about 8 or 9 different products that are designed to counteract the effects of harsh treatment on the hair.
Okay, now, how did I meet you, Mr. Frisbee?
You came in the barbershop that I was getting my hair cut, and I heard you talking about this seminar, and it piqued my interest, and I really wanted to come and hear from the panelists because I am aware that we don't have very much of the black hair care market, and I wanted to hear from some experts to see if they have any ideas or strategy to try to increase that. I'm brand new and starting out, changing from another profession, and it's a pretty hard sell. I've been advertising on the radio, but no results. So I'm looking for some insight, which is why I'm here today.
Very good. So that's one example. Here's a person who's trying to enter the industry. Industry is flat, but then again, we're talking about a $500 billion industry. So there is money being exchanged in the hands of Afro-Americans going through the marketplace. John?
It was very interesting to me when Walter came and told me about this idea that we were going to have this discussion. I've been in the business for 50 years. I love it. It's my passion. I realize that I have been working in this business in every aspect. I've been behind the chair. I'm still behind the chair. I've owned a salon. I've educated myself in all different areas of this industry. And I found that when you move with the industry, you can stay alive. When I move, I'm educated from the East Coast. So I bring a lot of behaviors from the East Coast, which means that we work. We have a little bit of integrity and we work it as best as we can. So for what that means is that when I got to California, I was doing straight hair. I always thought that the natural hair was the best. And I could never understand why I had to accept Eurocentric look just to be beautiful. So I have dedicated my career in managing the kinky hair. That's why I call myself a naptician. But I've educated myself on the kinky hair and how to style it to make us look equally or even better and more beautiful than we want to express. So for that, I went from straight to kinky. And my business boomed. It went off the chart. I got rid of the salon, and it was a good thing because as the economy changed, I still stayed in business. I increased my ability to deliver opportunities for kinky hair to become more popular. There are all kinds of classes available. I will be teaching them come 2015 on how to make that transition. You the professionals have to help your clients to make that transition with you. And in addition to that, one of the things like I discovered with Walter is that retail market. When you're talking about millions of dollars, whose pocket is it going into? We need to share into that. Yes, we see the Koreans building bigger and better stores out there. We can do the same thing, but right now, they're monopolizing the market. Move right into it. See what they're doing. Learn how to work together so that we can plan our own market. That's what we can do. So for this, I am so happy to be nappy. Because to be nappy is what's happening. I'd like to talk to you, the dermatologist, because there is a transition in coming out of straight hair into the nappy hair. Yes, we are beautiful. I don't care how much you got. You can do something with it, whether it's long or whether it's short. You can do something with it. We as hairstylists need to uplift our creativity. No, we're not just, come on in, just sit down and I do whatever I want to do. No. There's a relationship that we have to create with our clients because they are the ones who's paying the money. They are the ones who's making the choice. And all you need to do is plant the seed. So in terms of where we are today with natural hair being hot, yes, and it's going to be hotter yet. Because once we come out and show our own natural beauty, we become more and more popular. Whether it's your own or somebody else's, it's still yours as long as you're wearing it. So I say, make your look more beautiful. Convince your clients, talk to them. You can create a style of your own as a business person, not only behind the chair, but there's a retail market that you can get into. There should never be a down day in the beauty business because we all want to be beautiful.
Wonderful, wonderful. Appreciate that. So my thought here is we got a stylist, esthetician perspective of the industry. I'd like to get some of the manufacturers here to talk about their views of the trends in the industry and where do you see your companies going in reference to the changing styles and so forth. So who would like to start off with? I'll just volunteer someone. I'll volunteer this gentleman right here. We have ties. I was tied to a ship at one time. And what I mean by that is, he started a company when I started with him, and this is my end of the story. He was doing $4,000 a month. And when I left, he was doing between 2.5 and 3 million a month. And that was within a 6-year time period. We traveled all over the United States. He went international, and I just had a great time. I had a credit card sponsored by the company there. I had people that would meet me wherever I went in the United States, pick me up, stayed in plush hotels, went to fabulous events, referencing the event that was in Palm Springs, Johnson, is it John? Yeah, the opportunity. So it was a great time period. Interesting things in his transition, and so let's hear what you have to say today.
Well, let me just say I thank this gentleman for being one of my employees and a good friend, and that's the reason I'm here today. Now, I don't know where to start. You're talking about the new trends. Have been out of the loop a little bit. My business today, and I'll back into it, is mostly international, and my business in the South Pacific, basically. And there's about 10 to 15 million black people out there that you're not familiar with. But anyway, I can't really get into the trends today. I know I went to a program about 3 or 4 months ago, Gwen gave on the natural side. Incredible, woke me up. But I've been studying it quite aggressively. But I would say in the new trends and natural styles, as a young lady said, is booming. It's starting to increase because the consciousness of us is coming back around to where it needs to be. But if you want me to regress, 20 years ago, but the industry at one time was really a function of our making. We controlled over $500 million worth of manufacturing, about 20 manufacturers at the time. So during that time, that was in late 70s, early 80s, when we had control. And fortunately, a blessing dropped on me, and it was a jail called Rose Across. I fell into the category with all the other manufacturers, including Missouri and many other ones at the time. So we did have a strong position in control. And I might add, and I'm not saying this as a negative, I feel a little bit guilty. Why? Because I was part of that transition that allowed these Koreans to come in and do what they're doing today. But we did not have any clue of what they were going to do. We were more interested in the Jews at that time because they had the majority of the distribution. But the Korean brothers, and I remember was selling to some of the Jennings, who was one of the major $500 million worth of distribution today. But they have a common denominator, which we're lacking, and that's that collective consciousness. They will come together and do an economic focus, but they will fight among each other. So we need to learn, hey, even though we disagree, we can do the same thing. And I'm not going to hold up because I can keep going on forever. Maybe you're doing a little bit more of a session, because that's my whole consciousness right now, especially, and I don't want to.
That's fine. Pass the mic over to Mark. Let me just say a little bit about this strategy. Okay, question.
Hi, yes. I've always been told that the reason why we have
several of your main hair manufacturers, and it's based in Detroit. This brother has a beauty supply and he's not able to buy the hair. So now he's charging them with a class action suit. So we're waiting to see how that's going to come out sometime next year. Now, my concern is with the hair. And that is because for me it's about your health. Okay? If you're getting hair from someone else's body that they are worn, you don't know what type of disease or whatever they're carrying that could possibly transfer into your system, because when your pores are open, whatever's in your head, it goes into your body. Okay? So now hair is made from chemicals. What kind of chemicals do you know? I had the hair researched, and I had also the hair sent to a forensic lab, and my results came back. They said do not let it touch your skin. So to me that's very serious. You have some sisters that maybe have cancer of the breast. I've seen this, but since this is about black women, they don't have the research to see really is that's what's causing this. See? But now when these other girls, the fake girls, get to wearing the hair and they start having certain conditions, then they'll start to research and see what's going on with it. Okay? So I understand we make it a lifestyle because we wear the hair continuously every day. Other nationalities wear it for events, and they will wear the hair for an evening. But we want to wear it every day in and day out. So there could be some problems, and that is what my concern is about the health.
I agree to some point, but from my realistic view, that's a big jump to say, or not to say that you're telling the industry to stop using a particular product that does take care of our families, but then that would be a big jump to take a stand in that regard when that may be 30-40% of what our clientele wants. So then what would be the solution? Because it's not going to happen on a citywide scale.
Now, it's just a recycling of what took place back in the day. Angela Davis is a renowned person that had a big afro. I wore a chemical blowout. That means that they took a relaxer and blew my afro out, and soft and curly, and I use an Afro Sheen product. So I say that to say that when I started with Worlds of Curls, he had a moisture retaining gel. Curl activator. I have a moisture retaining gel. But I came out of the series of Roebuck system. For those who don't know, Roebuck was a black man. He was a watch repairer, but he sold his interest in the company, and now you just see Sears. But I gathered a lot of retail experience. I used to unload trucks, price merchandise, and then put it on the shelves of the stores. I took his product into the marketplace, and I said to myself, this man can finance the growth of his company. He's going to be a billionaire. I knew that within 2 or 3 days of being in the marketplace with his product. Now, I'm saying that to say that he had a moisturizer to moisturize the hair. At that time, ammonium thiobromelate was being used to get the curls, so it was really, really necessary. But today, as was the case then, we all need moisture in the hair, especially Afro-Americans, because their hair tend to dry fast. That's why we don't enjoy shampooing our hair on a regular basis. So education is the key there. That's what I'm trying to get to. I have products that will work on natural hairstyles, wavy hairstyles, curly hairstyles, will keep the hair extremely soft, will retain the moisture. That's why I call them moisture retaining products. So, it's incumbent upon us as manufacturers, distributors, and those who are in the marketplace to educate you. Now, we have in the audience here promoters of events, hair shows, and so forth. We have Gwen Allen, who's associated with Nappy Wood. Yeah, right. And then sitting right behind her, we have Rhonda. And what's the name of your event, Rhonda?
The Afro-Licious.
Afro-Licious. Yeah, I had intentions on attending her affair, but I had a religious event that I had to go to. It was mandatory, so I went to it. So maybe I can catch you next year. But we have promoters. We have to provide vehicles for education. We have knowledgeable people in the industry sitting right here. We have all the resources we need. Just as I was able to say, this guy is going to be a millionaire if he can finance his operation. With the talent that's sitting in this room right now, I can project that we can develop some $1 million companies. It's just easy to do. I can just take my own line as an experience. I know that if I were to explode my line in full distribution, then my company would be worth $1 million right now. No one can convince me otherwise because I've experienced it before with this company. And once you gather that experience, there's nothing that can shake it. Now, times have changed, yes. Like I said, there were Jews that controlled distribution during that time period, and now we have the Koreans. But see, I can recall sitting at a trade show, BBSI it was called. We were in Las Vegas, and me and Cyrus Jackson, who I'm going to make reference to his mind a little later on, we were on behalf of the company there, and Cyrus is down south guy, so he likes to talk about fishing. And we devised a program where every Jewish distributor had to come to our booth and purchase our products. And we had truckload deals of $300 and something thousand. Now back at home, Frank was licking his chops, waiting for these orders. And we did $3.5 million in 3 days at that show. So I'm saying I have the experience is right here at the table to know what to do to make things work on behalf of all of us. You know, I don't fault the Koreans for what they're doing right now. Some may, but they're business people. They formulated a strategy. We got it on tape. I plan to share it back in the back there, and they implemented it to a better degree. For example, I had one of my local guys go into a local distributor and pitch my line. And the first thing that they want to say is that the line is not selling. Well, unfortunately, here to purchase my product, but I'm sure Don has seen it on the shelves of some of the beauty supply stores and the salons, and for any other person that service. But I have tons of hairstylists that use my product every day. So for someone to tell me my product is not selling and so forth, that's just asinine. And I'm not going to buy into it. But that shows you the problem that we have. And Lucky mentioned it in the videotaping of back in 2004, I think it was, that's what they'll tell you, the products don't sell. Now, there are a lot of fine beauty supply owners, so I'm not bashing them. I'm grateful because they helped me raise or provide a living for my family. That's what I wanted to say. And they're good people. I have a picture of a display of my products in one of the stores there, and I have a number of SKUs on the shelf there, stock keeping units, that's what they're referred to. So the problem is, though, is that I'm only in a limited number of stores, and the problem is communication. You know, the way that they set up the distribution network, now you cannot walk into an average Korean-owned beauty supply store and try and persuade them to take your product in. They're trained now to go through the distributors. Mm-hmm. So you have to work through the distributors. Now, Mr. Dr. Leno put together some information regarding demographics and so forth. I didn't have a chance to vet it out there, but I asked him to draw a diagram of the channels of distribution. That's what I wanted you all to see, how the distribution works from manufacturer all the way down. And believe it or not, some of the most important people in this hair business are you, the hairstylists. There's a couple of ways that you can get your product started in this marketplace. Now, Mr. Frisbee talked about his experience. I don't know if you were listening to him, but he's had some difficulty getting his line off to a good start. Is that true, Mr. Frisbee?
Right.
Yes. But the best way to get your products going and for them to last for an extended period of time is to go through you, the hairstylist. And again, that's where we need to speak to you, inform you about our products, share the features and benefits of the products, also show you the profitableness of marketing our products. I'm sure that Ms. Jock here can tell you about that. She uses some of my products and she retails some of the products. Go ahead.
Well, I think what my concern is that it's kind of the same line of what you're saying.
Yeah.
I can have a few different product lines at a time, but when my client goes to an outside source,
yes,
and they have a plethora of things to choose from,
yes,
it creates a really big competition. So maybe we're on the same page.
yes,
That I'm trying to compete with that, with maybe the small space that I have, or trying to transition with the natural hairstyle line and being able to suggest certain things when they already have read a label and brought home what they thought was supposed to work.
right. You know, and go ahead, Mike.
Yeah.
That's some nice ways he's having the sound system here. He has a production company, he does video, taping all just for information.
All right, I just wanted to, I don't know anything about hair, but I know a lot about business. My very first business that I opened came from a Korean. I went, because I'm fluent in Korean, but I went to all of the African Americans first and tried to get them to invest in my business, but they didn't want to. The Koreans invested in my business. They have a system that most people don't know about. This system is, once they open a business, they take loans from other Koreans, okay? When they take a loan from these Koreans, like say for instance 6 people up there, they'll come around once a week and get $100 from each one of you up there. They'll put that into a big pot. Then they go to Korea, they bring over a Korean person. They set up their store. They give them all of their product up front, no money down. How that Korean has to pay back what was given to them, they now have to contribute to that $100 pot that goes around every week. They give you that money to open your business. You cannot buy products from any other source but that source that gave you the money to open your business. That's how they work. Once you pay back the loan, you can go free, or you can still continue to enter in that pot to bring over another Korean to open up another store and have it to the point to where the only products that you can purchase is from them.
Concentrated economic focus, just what you said. So there's something that we should be learning about in regard to the systematic way of controlling our economics in our community. Now, just a quick one on the young lady in the transition. I think right now, me being from way back and seeing what's going on even with Gwen and the natural hair, etc., I think this is a turning point, slightly, because Mr. White, lucky, mixed up. But anyway, your hair is creating a problem for manufacturing products. It creates a problem. And really, they're controlling a lot of that communication via China into Korea. But I'm saying, with all of that, and I understand what you're saying, that transition, there's a little bit of contradiction there. So you're going to have to kind of figure out how quickly you can maybe move in conjunction with what you're doing to make your everyday dollar. So I like where you are, but I like with the natural, because it reminds me of the curl in a sense. Because it all of a sudden moved in one direction with a concentrated focus on the industry, and that's why we blew up. Because it was a focus right at one time, and I think the natural style is going in that direction again.
I understand that in terms of distribution, Koreans are basically controlling the distribution and telling you that your products don't sell. What are you doing to try to combat that? How are you struggling against them telling you your product won't sell when they're taking products like yours and saying that this product is the product that's selling and yours is not?
I guess since the question was directed partially to me, is the Koreans, they are non-discriminatory. Most of the products that, and the reason I say that is because most of the products that are aimed at the Afro market are not made by Afro manufacturers. Many of them used to be, but now they're owned by L'Oreal and several offshore companies, those of you who read this paper. And they don't care who makes the product, black, white, green, or any other color. If it's made for Afro people, they want it. And so the only thing we have to do in regards to that is to be able to promote and advertise the product, to bring the people into the store to buy it. Now we sell basically mostly to distributors. I mean, they distribute to the beauty supply stores. It used to be that we would go directly to the beauty shop. Most of you probably haven't seen a salesman in the whole length of time you've been in business, because that's not where the sales are directed. They're directed to the distributor who puts the product out to the retailer and then to you and then to your customers. So it goes through about 4 or 5 different hands before it gets to you. And the people who make the most money in this business are the distributors. But one of the things that you all need to do as cosmetologists is to learn how to retail. Retail could increase your business by 30% almost overnight. But most of you don't retail, yet you get upset with the manufacturers because you may be using their professional products on your customer's hair, but they can go to a drugstore and buy their maintenance products, and then you get upset with the manufacturers because of that. But it's really your fault because you don't carry the product. You go to most of the Caucasian beauty salons, they have a retail case set up there. Go to most of the Afro-American beauty salons, and there's no sign of anything being retailed. And the key to retailing is to know how to buy. You, believe it or not, you can go to the same distributors that the Koreans go to at the beauty supply store and buy products. All you have to do is get yourself a resale license, and you can go and buy and get a 33 and a third 40% discount and sell to your customers. And if you feel that you can't do that, then include the price of the product in your service. That way you don't have to collect sales tax, you don't have to go through a sales pitch. It's part of the service, and you're controlling what they use at home. Because how many of you had to have a customer come back in and you had to get about 4 or 5 shampoos? First shampoo is done with dishwashing liquid because they cut the grease. You don't let your customers know that, but it works. Okay, but the thing is that you control what they use at home, so that it enhances what you did in the salon.
Okay. So remember my discipline too. I'm saying that humorously, from the standpoint that, you know, you got Caesar's laws that you have to abide by too. And if you don't do it, it can come back to bite you in the butt. I use that expression. I've had a hairstylist call me up years later saying, do you have my receipts from when I purchased flowers? Because Uncle Sam has me hemmed up now for not being licensed properly in terms of retail. So you got to weigh it. Now, I just want to acknowledge a couple of people. We have in the rear there Isaac. He has Hair Aerobics. That's a line of hair products that's distributed in the marketplace. We have Corinthian here and San Dominique. They have Eubora products. So we want you to recognize them. Also, I invited a guest there, Wanda Davis. She is CPA, and she's in the financial world. So if any of you are concerned with finance, can you turn your volume up just a little bit? They don't have a mic on here.
She sells hair, basically, to African American women. She gets the hair directly from Thailand or whatever her road country. I guess she follows through on the whole process, but she sells hair to African American women. Now there are those of us who love the natural hair, and there are some of us that don't necessarily want to do that. Maybe they want to do the straight deal. She's African American herself, and she sells hair to other African American women. My question was, would it help if all these independent sellers, because she does all her work, all her sales, we said, online, and she makes $100,000 or more a year. And I don't know if she's necessarily investing back into the Black community, but would it help if you could snag all of these independent African American owned independents who do sell hair, who are not part of the natural hair trend? Would it help to pull them in as well, where they maybe invest the money into, say, a distributor, a Black owned distributor, or a hair care and skin Black owned store? Would it help for them to pour their money into that, and then maybe the hair lines that they have get sold at that store? Would it help to do that, or would it not matter?
Those are options that are available to us, and that's the purpose of this type of a forum right here, to pool together the talent, discuss things, and then as a result of our discussion, as a result of our networking, maybe we can take advantage of the opportunity you're referring to.
There's a little contradiction. I just want to answer.
And we have to wrap up. I have a time scheduled for the luncheon too.
Quickly.
So go ahead.
You're talking about hair. You're talking about an economic communication to me. And actually, we've got some minor problems with, as I say, hair. I mean, the hair in the industry is making money. Yes, it is. But on the other hand, to the manufacturer, it's hurt the industry. To a lot of your cosmetologists, closing the shop, is hurting them because they're doing more people are getting the weaves, etc. So all I'm saying, yes, that's a good economic focus to consolidate your efforts, collectively buy. But my contention would be, if I can eliminate them altogether, it would bring more strength even over here in the natural side. It would continue to build on what we're trying to do, economic empowerment.
Okay, I want to give the Dean's comment to that, and really dealing with women, and that's the beauty of women. they like to diversify in terms of their looks. And so, as you mentioned, that is one category way over here. But we have several categories.
But the key is being a cosmetologist is being versatile. The Kazuris have had that information on the hair for years and years and years and years. And if we educate our clients and let them know that all hair is not created equal. All hair is not created equal. So when we are educated and we can pass it on to our clients, they benefit. And if we stop using things that our clients can use, they can't use a Kazuri iron. But the others have said, use a ceramic iron, use this kind of iron. If you use those things, guess what your clients are going to do? They're going to use those things. Using a Kazuri iron is an art. Yes. It's an art. And if you don't pass it down to the others that are up and coming, the art is going to get lost. We have to keep our art alive. Also, you need to be versatile. Don't just do straight hair. Do your natural hair. Wear natural hair. Wear straight hair. What you do, your clients do. You have to be creative. If you want $1, earn $1. Retail, do different things. Go out there and explore. That's all I want to say. I use products. If you know what's in your products, now that they have internet, your clients can know more than you. You have to educate yourself about the products, know what they can do, know where they're going, what's good and what's not. Know what's a healthy thing inside of your product that you can tell your client, hey, this will promote circulation to the top of your head. If you eat this kind of food, if you do this, you're going to promote hair growth. That's what you want. You want to be educated. You have to educate your clients. You have to help them because they're helping themselves on the internet. You have to do more. Yes. Once we do that, you will just keep the $1 and you'll circulate the $1.
Pinterest, yes. I use Pinterest quite a bit. So take advantage of these vehicles here. In the corner there, the gentleman sits quietly. He's a quiet giant. There, stand up, Devon. He introduced me to this facility because he is part of a show that we do on Friday evenings called Just Sports. And he had me bring him here, and the gentleman that hosts the show asked me if I would like to come back to it. And, I said, sure. I generally watch news and I pay attention to sports. That's my appetite for television. So I just fit right in when we went in the rear view. But as a result of that, again, I saw this opportunity, and that's why I brought you all here. Some of you know that I do classes over at the Marriott Hotel. We have Ryan Perry there, who's conducted a class on behalf of my company, and some other stylists also. So the gentleman that's standing there, he's an advocate scale. I'm going to gear up and try one more time on a large scale. So there are various avenues open up to us that weren't available back in the day to acquire funding, to finance your operations. But most importantly, we have to communicate. Tony made mention of a trade magazine that the Koreans use. It's written in Korean. You can't understand it, but they understand it. And so they develop a plan, and their plan is working.
This together today, Walter. There's a lot of skepticism. We try to get together to make things happen, and we have to salute you today because the people that are on your panel are very knowledgeable, and I'm sure there's some very well-respected women in the audience here. We know who they are, and everybody in here fits into that category. But speaking from the standpoint of a manufacturer, my wife, Stephanie Southers, we started hair aerobics all natural 25 years ago. And my wife has hair down past her waist, and she's had long hair like that for years. Always advocated natural hair. Over the years, we saw the industry change from straightening hair, whatever needed to be done in those time periods, to the natural hair care industry. The natural hair care industry today is inundated by white companies. You look on television, everywhere you see now, you see natural hair. All the commercials are natural hair. So that is big business. But also, another aspect of that, like the lady from Hairfinity, we do the same thing. Our whole thing now, and has always been promoting natural, healthy hair growth. And that means you could have balding hair, thinning hair, or whatever problem that you have, but use good natural herbal products, and that's what we've always done. But just there were some statements made about transitioning and doing other things. Our business has graduated from just being in the beauty supplies because we saw the competition. And everybody in here that's a manufacturer knows what the competition is in the Korean beauty supplies. There are so many other aspects to make money. We decided to open up 4 years ago strictly to do treatments. And our salon now, that's all we do. We don't style hair. You walk out with a nice natural hairstyle, but we have kids and women to 80-some years old who don't know what to do. So education, like this lady said here, is very important today because there's a new generation of people that didn't get the information that we got. And they have money. We sell most of our products on the internet now. Yes. I have an order from Jenny's in my pocket right now, the #1 distributor in the world that you guys were talking about. I got this order a month ago. And you know what? I don't even care. I'm serious. You know, there's ways to make money, and the information that's flowing around in this room needs to be implemented. We need like Gwen was calling me, and I have to apologize for Gwen because she did a show last year, we did. She did it this year, a natural hair show. I should have been there. You know, there were other obligations, and I know I didn't communicate well enough there, and I apologize to you in front of everybody today. And it's a situation where, forget the Koreans. I deal with the Koreans every single day. I know their little secrets. I know that Cygnus went out of business. You know why Cygnus went out of business? You got a distributor? Because they started opening up beauty supplies. Their own people turned against them and would not go to their stores, to their distributorship over in Gardena, right on the borderline of Compton, would not go to promote, to buy or sell any of their products anymore. So they went out of business. And now Annie's owns Cygnus. Annie's is an accessories company. Yes. Combs, bobby pins, hairbrushes, all of those types of things. We have the capacity and the knowledge to do everything now. Media online is rampant. People are hungry for information. If you don't have a website, if you're not on Facebook, we make more money on Facebook than we make in our beauty supplies. And guess what? There's no discount unless you want to have a discount. Right. We have sales and give 40% discounts. Like right now, we're going to have a Christmas sale. When you go to Jenny's, he wants 60% off, and then another 10%, which they call for advertising, and another 5% if they pay you in a 30-day term. So you walk away and you're trading dollars for dollars. So I say power to us. Let's do this thing.
Okay. I want to, Don Richardson has a function that he does on an annual basis. I just want you to take a few seconds, Don. I'm sorry, Don Davidson. You know, there's a Don Richardson in the industry back in the day, and I'm very sorry for that. I know you're Don Davidson.
I don't know if any of you guys been to my function. I do it each year, it's my 6th year. We do it out of Pachanga. It's a little getaway for the stylists because a lot of times we do a lot of things right in our own area. And we have stylists that travel from San Diego to come to Los Angeles. I have found that out at Pachanga and Temecula, it's kind of like centered like. It's an hour from San Diego, 40 minutes from Riverside, and about an hour 15 from Los Angeles. So it kind of gathers everybody in one area. No one really has to do a long drive. So what we do each year, we have 8 different classes. When I say 8 different classes, we have anything from CPA, we have retirement classes, we have cutting, coloring, and natural hair. We have that. So, I mean, and right now I'm running a special on it for $100, which is the regular price is $150 for the 2 days. And of course we have a night reception, which is all the stylists come into one room, we serve food, we have entertainment and all that stuff for $150. Right now it's just $100 till January 31st. But this is something I've been doing for going on my 6th year, and I've noticed that more stylists are coming out because they just want education. That's all they want. They don't want a lot of other stuff going on. They just want to come in, get some good education, take some good notes, ask a lot of good questions, and they go back to their salons a little more hungrier and excited about doing hair again. Something that we were talking about on this panel, and I'm not going to be long, is projection. One of the things that in our industry we don't project is when we see a trend that's coming in like natural hair and stuff, we don't go out and try to learn this thing, we just watch it go by us. When the hybrid car came out, the gas companies saw where they were going to lose money, so they projected, let's raise the price of gas, because we're going to lose money. So now they're making their money, they're dropping the price of gas. They projected this thing. We don't do that in our industry. We just like, oh, here it comes, and there it goes. So what we have to do is, when something comes in, because this is going to go back around again, from natural hair to straight hair to weaves, it's going to go back around again. So we just have to follow the trends that's going along with this thing, and you know, when it comes in, take you some classes, get yourself educated so you can keep up with what's going on. And for one of your questions was natural hair, what products to use. Talk to your distributor. They can tell you more about what to use for your clients. Because if you send your clients to the beauty supply, the Koreans don't even know that much about it. They really don't. They just know it's there and they're trying to sell it. So if you talk to your distributor about what's good for natural hair, he can basically explain better to you than they can. You know, and read read the ingredients on the back of the bottle. That will help you out with that. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Don. Okay, we're going to have to wrap this up lunch-wise. Did anyone else, you know, Corinthian? Yes.
It's 4, 5, maybe 10 vendors that's around in the area. You need to support those vendors. They come in with the supplies, whichever company it is. They'll use some of it. Stay away from that beauty supply. Buy what you can. Buy the professional product. That's all I got.
Now there are those of us who love the natural hair, and there are some of us that don't necessarily want to do that. Maybe they want to do the straight deal. She's African American herself, and she sells hair to other African American women. My question was, would it help if all these independent sellers, because she does all her work, all her sales, we said, online, and she makes $100,000 or more a year. And I don't know if she's necessarily investing back into the Black community, but would it help if you could snag all of these independent African American owned independents who do sell hair, who are not part of the natural hair trend? Would it help to pull them in as well, where they maybe invest the money into, say, a distributor, a Black-owned distributor?
A Korean-owned beauty supply store, try and persuade them to take the product. They're trained now to go through the distributors. So you have to work through the distributors. Now, Mr. Dr. Leno put together some information regarding demographics and so forth. I didn't have a chance to vet it out there, but I asked him to draw a diagram of the channels of distribution. That's what I wanted you all to see, how the distribution works from manufacturer all the way down. And believe it or not, some of the most important people in this hair business are you, the hairstylists. There's a couple of ways that you can get your product started in this marketplace. Now, Mr. Frisbee talked about his experience. I don't know if you were listening to him, but he's had some difficulty getting his line off to a good start. Is that true, Mr. Frisbee? Yes. But the best way to get your products going and for them to last for an extended period of time is to go through you, the hairstylist. And again, that's where we need to speak to you, inform you about our products, share the features and benefits of the products, also show you the profitability of marketing our products. I'm sure that Ms. Doc here can tell you about that. She uses some of my products and she retails some of the products. My local guys go into a local distributor and pitch my line. And the first thing that they want to say is that the line is not selling. Well, unfortunately, I don't have all the stylists here that purchase my product, but I'm sure Don has seen it on the shelves of some of the beauty supply stores and the salons, and for any other person that's serviced. But I have tons of hairstylists that use my product every day. So for someone to tell me my product is not selling and so forth, that's just asking. And I'm not going to buy into it. But that shows you the problem that we have. And Lucky mentioned it in videotaping back in 2004, I think it was, that's what they'll tell you, your products don't sell.
The sites where you can get your product direct to market. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them.
Very good. Okay, once again, for any of you who did valet parking, we assure you that you're going to enjoy the food, so we want you to enjoy the meal. Again, go back into the communities and share what you experience here. Try and share the positive things and the little negative things that are there. Speak about it. That's fine. But this can serve as a foundation for other events like this. And maybe among the group here, leaders will rise and take charge of some of the things we talked about.
I just want to say, we need to have communication. That's what we need. So that whatever happens when the ball drops, we need to be notified. So somebody needs to have a channel so that we'll be able to be notified. So that way we can have everybody come out, not just a few. But we need communication.
The title is Black Hair Care, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. A couple other bloggers, they play a very crucial role on the internet in promoting trends and so forth. So I take everything that was said and appreciate all of the insight and information that was shared. And as it was stated here, we have to have someone step up to the plate as well and organize this and do it on a continuous basis. But the one thing that I want to say is this. A lot of time and attention can be put into it, and still folks can miss the boat of what this is all about. So you have to raise the consciousness, and you can only do it through repetitive effort. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. Yes, I was aware that the timing was off, but it was necessary for me to get what I had to get off my chest now. So I did it, and as far as I'm concerned, it's been successful. We got this captured on tape. We're going to go in the rear and capture more information on tape. So this tool will be sent out all over the world. So just keep that in mind. So now I want you to enjoy the food. And again, thank everyone for coming. Products under the brand name Secret Styling. We promote healthy hair through moisturization and conditioning the hair. This morning, I was the sponsor of this event entitled Black Hair Care, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And the objective of this meeting was to get manufacturers and hairstylists and barbers and other members of the industry together and have dialogue regarding the hair care industry. It's projected that the hair care industry will do over $500 billion in the year 2015. So I want to make sure that each and every one of us, participants in this industry, get our fair share of that $500 billion. The success of this event today was pretty good, I would say. It was a busy day for hairstylists, so I didn't get as many stylists out as I would like. But overall, I think we had a healthy discussion, and the stage is set for another discussion like this. On a regular basis, some have requested it, so we'll see what happens in the future. But for right now, we want to...
I'm now in the South Pacific Mall, and I just want to do a shout out right now for Mr. Walter Smith. This is one incredible event which was long waited on and should have been going on all along. Hopefully Walt continues it, and I told him I'm going to be his right-hand man. Why? Because I see a phase that is needed in the black community, which is from the hair care in particular, because of the significant dollars that are being spent in here and the controls that we can do. There's, Walt mentioned about $500 billion, I think a little less than that, but even in that event, we can still control our system as a black economic power in the United States do the hair care, and let the whirlwind pull everybody else in and move internationally also. But I'm just excited. I'm excited for what I see. This we should have done many years ago, which we started with the association called ABBA. But now there's another day and a new day of collective consciousness, and I think black people are ready to embark on this economic empowerment. And let's
Brownstone Restaurant. I don't know if you remember Jazz Etc., but the chef that owns this place now used to be a chef at Jazz Etc. in Leimert Park. But anyway, we're in the hair care industry. We manufacture hair care products for over 20 years. Natural hair care products to help your hair grow, thinning hair, dandruff, those types of problems. We're having our first meeting today with manufacturers that are very prominent manufacturers in our hair care industry, and we're just trying to see what we can do about the future for our industry and get a hold on it and get money and let it circulate back through the black communities and support everything that needs to be supported here in the Los Angeles.
My name is Michael Frisbee. I'm distributor of Dr. Frisbee's hair care products. Dr. Frisbee is my brother. He's a dermatologist with offices in the Washington, D.C. area, Fort Washington, Maryland, to be exact. And he has a line of hair care products that do amazing things for black hair. We have a lot of different ways that our beautiful black women enhance their beauty, their natural God-given beauty, with chemicals and hot combs and press and curl and relaxers and all those things which help make your hair look good, but at the same time it does damage to your hair. People are losing their hair is falling out, develop alopecia. These products are designed to counteract those negative effects. They add moisture to your hair, they add protein to your hair, and we're selling them online at www.drfrisbee.hairproducts.com. I'd like very much for you to check out our website, and our toll-free number is 855-913-4545. We really enjoyed the event today.